The Bible isn't just a book of random stories. It's 66 different books that come together to tell one story. An incredible one about God's love for us. And now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verses 1 to 5.
Taylor stared in disbelief at her new home for the next 3 weeks.
It's not even a cabin.
Taylor's lanky camp counselor, Rose, grinned as she held open the door for Taylor and the 7 other campers.
Nope, it's a yurt, sort of a cross between a tent and a cabin.
Taylor hesitated at the doorway, but the other girls crowded past her, laughing and chattering.
Go ahead, Taylor. Pick a bunk.
Reluctantly, Taylor tossed her duffel bag on the nearest bottom bunk and brushed sweat away from her eyes. She was supposed to be home right now, curled up in her big, comfy beanbag chair with the air conditioning. But Taylor's parents had taken a last-minute research trip to New Zealand, and Grandma, who was supposed to come over to watch Taylor, had broken her ankle. Now Taylor was stuck at wilderness camp for almost a whole month. Sighing, she pulled out her iPod and checked to make sure she had packed her tablet too.
What's the Wi-Fi password?
The other campers stared at Taylor as if she had grown a third eye. Jill, a short girl with a long blonde braid, shook her head.
Didn't you read the website? No devices.
Wait, what?
Freckled Evie nodded.
It's not like there's electricity to charge them anyway.
But what if I have to text? And I'm writing this story.
Rose quickly jumped in.
Hey, it's okay. You didn't know, but you're gonna be having so much fun, you won't even miss them.
Rose pulled out a large, complicated-looking map and showed it to the whole group.
Speaking of which, we're gonna leave on our canoe trip first thing tomorrow morning. 2 days out, 2 days back, no tents, but your sleeping hammocks have a tarp if it rains.
Taylor gaped. As if the yurt weren't bad enough, it sounded like they'd be sleeping out in the open for the rest of the week.
What about mosquitoes? And bears? And...
Glancing around, Taylor realized there were no other doors in the yurt.
what about bathrooms?
The other girls giggled.
Don't worry, we'll talk through everything after dinner. You'll be totally fine.
Yeah, right.
Taylor trailed behind the others as they joined the rest of the camp for dinner. Outside, of course. And do it yourself.
Cut up your veggies and put them in the tin foil with the ground beef. We'll cook your foil packets in the coals.
An hour later, Taylor found a spot by herself on a picnic table and gingerly opened her steaming foil dinner. All the food crumbled together. Rose slid in across from Taylor with her own meal.
I know, right? Not my fave.
I'm not hungry.
It's all about the secret sauce.
Rose held up a bottle of ketchup and doused her meal in huge blobs of it.
You've got more ketchup than dinner.
That's the point. Here, try some.
Reluctant, Taylor squeezed ketchup on her own dinner.
Yeah, okay. That is better.
So, you weren't planning on camp, huh?
I was planning on playing Cavecraft all summer and writing the rest of my book.
Those things both sound like a lot of fun.
Now I'm just wasting my summer.
What's your book about?
Me and my friend Ethan came up with this idea about a kid named Orion who discovers a secret portal in his backyard that leads to the future.
Pretty cool adventure.
Me and Ethan get together every morning to figure out the next part of the story, and then I go write it out on my tablet. I mean, I did until now.
So, maybe camp's a kind of portal for you.
This is not the future. At least not the right one.
But think about your favorite books. Usually, the hero doesn't get to pick the adventure.
Taylor frowned, but as she considered it, she realized it was true. Frodo didn't choose his own journey, and neither did Luke Skywalker.
Happens in the Bible too. This guy named Abram is living a comfortable life, and out of nowhere, God speaks to him.
Like, out loud?
We don't know for sure, but we do know it was super clear. This isn't word for word, but God says something like, leave your country and your family. Go to this new land and I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. You will be a blessing to others. All nations on earth will be blessed because of you.
What was the new place?
God didn't say. Abram or Abraham just had to trust that God knew the rest of the story. So he packed everything up with his wife and nephew and moved. More than 500 miles on foot.
That's crazy.
I bet everyone around him thought so too. But Abraham went anyway, and he ended up living out a story so amazing that we're still talking about it thousands of years later.
Taylor took another bite of her dinner and was surprised to discover she had finished the whole thing.
In the book I'm writing, maybe in the future there's this flood and Orion has to travel by canoe.
I'm thinking you could do a lot of great research on our canoe trip.
I'll take lots of notes. I'll make voice memos.
Taylor reached for her iPod, which wasn't there. Rose slid a small notepad and pencil across the table.
This works too.
I'll start right away.
As dusk gathered, Jill and Evie waved from the bonfire.
Hey, Tyler. Want to make s'mores?
We've got the giant marshmallows.
Evie jammed a huge marshmallow on a stick and waved it towards the fire. Taylor jumped up and ran to join the others at the bonfire.
Be careful. You've got to toast those big ones over the coals first.
Soon, Taylor was laughing as she was teaching Evie how to toast a marshmallow without torching it first. 3 weeks in the wilderness wasn't the story she had chosen for herself. But maybe it could be a good journey anyway.